Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to see how we can use the VWAP and the anchored VWAP along with, of course, the heat map, how we can correlate it with the heat map, the delta and the delta profile or the footprint charts that we generally use. So a lot of you guys had asked me whether this particular tool, that is the heat map, when we talk about the features that we have here, that is the heat map, of course, can we use it on a longer time frame? Rest, of course, everything we do analyze it on a longer time frame as well. So yes, of course, we can do it. What we'll do today is we will also explore one of the new features that has come into this, that is the anchored VWAP. So what we generally find on a candlesticks chart is, let's say a 1 minute chart, 1 minute candlestick chart, or any other chart, is you generally get the candlestick the anchored VWAP being plotted from that particular candle, the low or the high, whatever, it depends. Here you can exactly pinpoint and the exact area that you want, or rather the most interesting part is the place where you see the presence of liquidity being taken out or being added. You can add a VWAP from there. So of course, previous support and resistances are a good way to analyze, or high volume clusters, for example, something like this. When you see a very high volume on a 5 minute time frame, 15 minute time frame, even a daily time frame, proves to be really good for anchoring any sort of VWAP. So to start with, what we'll do is we'll take out the footprint from here. Okay, let's go down and take out the footprint, and we'll have just the heat map for now, and then we'll go one by one into how we can do the anchored VWAP. The next thing that we want to do is switch on the candlesticks. Why am I doing this? So that a lot of you guys have a doubt as to, when you're looking at a longer time frame chart, how do we use it, and how do we deploy bookmap strategies onto longer time frame rather than only scalping. So the next thing that we're going to do is, you can go over here and in the candle settings, you can have this, for example, I've set it to 3 minutes. Let's start with 5 minutes, so that we can go to the from the start of the day. Now the other very cool thing that I like about this particular candlestick is the total VWAP. You can also have this. So what this will do is that I'll just let you know the difference. So if you see the total VWAP is the VWAP for a particular candle. Again, it's exactly similar to what you plot for the entire day. Similarly, you are having it for 5 minutes, so you can go down to as low as you want. For example, if you want to go to 5 seconds and you want to have a VWAP plotted for every 5 seconds, so you can have a candlestick chart like that with the VWAP being plotted. What I generally like is only the total VWAP, and there I put it. Now the next question that people generally come up with is, what is the significance of this VWAP? This VWAP, of course, on an intraday time frame, is a very important reference. Now this I like to use whenever I see a high volume candle with either the price reacting to that high volume candle, or even if it is not reacting, it becomes a very good reference point. So for example, like you see on a 5 second bar, you've seen this. So obviously 5 seconds is too short a time frame to have this hold. So the least that we do is we'll shift to a 5 minute chart. This is just for explanation purpose. So now over here, if you look at a 5 minute chart and you contract this, the next thing that you can do is, when you are looking like this, so of course you will the volume bars that you're getting over here are being plotted every 15 seconds. So you can see the versatility I have over here in this platform. I can just keep shifting to the time frames I want. So in today's video, of course, our main aim is to look at longer time frames rather than only scalping. So by longer time frames, I don't mean a daily time frame. What I mean is an intraday time frame. So we can have a 15 or a 5 minute chart. So for discussion purposes and for deploying or discussing certain strategies, what we're going to do is deploy a 5 minute chart or a 5 minute candlestick to start with, and then we'll try and go down a little bit, so that we can, why do we go down a little bit? So that we can have important reference points. Like, let's say, for example, this is a liquidity zone that was there, and we start, if this coincides with a high volume bar or a high volume move, for example, you see high delta, green delta over here, so obviously some buyers getting absorbed here. So we can have this plotted, or we can anchor the VWAP from here. So let's start, and let's go into the first thing. So what is the importance of a candlestick VWAP? Again, if you look over here and you look at this volumes, okay, so why is it important? I'll just show you. Okay, in all the since the time the market opened, that is 1900 hours my time, Asia time. So the market opened somewhere here. So let me contract a little bit further so that I can show you what I want to. So you see the opening volumes of course are higher. Okay, the next good thing over here is that as you keep contracting, this thing or the candlesticks will start adjusting to the time frame that is there. So let's again check whether we have the candlesticks set up to the 5-minute. Yeah, we do. Okay, so now after this move, let's say the market opened right here, the real trading hours, that is the RTH. Okay, there was a high volume over here, and the next time we saw a higher volume is, so this VWAP becomes really important, and I generally mark these zones. And if you look at it carefully, this was a sort of a support in the previous session, or in the ETH rather. Okay, so these are not the real trading hours. So in the ETH, this was a support from where the market has gone. So you can mark this, and like I keep saying, you can have the notes, custom notes over here. So how you can do that is you can go here and install something like this. So custom notes, you will have it here. We shift and add another column, insert column, and we'll shift it to current order book, something like this. Okay, so that we can keep seeing what is happening over here. Okay, now let's forget this for a time. Just a minute. What I'll do is I will configure this, because we've lost the settings that we had. Okay, we'll go here and extended is what I want to see, and create and only bars. Okay, and I don't want to see the numbers. Okay, so this is how we'll set. Now one thing that we just saw is this part as the VWAP. Now as we keep expanding, you will see there are areas in this profile which had a relatively higher volume. Okay, and it was being supported by heat map at the time as well. So these places become really important. I'll just show you. So let's find areas where something like that happened. Okay, so if I'm not wrong, it happened somewhere here when there was a like this VWAP was one. Okay, just let us see, and what we'll do is we'll do this so that it automatically sets up. Okay, and let's go behind one by one and see. Okay, so that is why I just want to demonstrate the importance of a bar VWAP also. It plays a significant role, and let me see the case that I just saw. So this is one. So you see this heat map, and whenever it is coinciding with let's say this VWAP, so why I pay attention is if the volume is high. For example, over here you see a volume high. What we'll do is we'll go here and the volume bars to 5 minutes as well, so that we can see the volumes, the higher volume bars as well. So when we see a coinciding of the VWAP, for example over here, and this VWAP coinciding with the move down, so this I generally mark as a reference point. How do I play this then? Like we always discuss, whenever it breaks out, so this is my line. Okay, and you see it's taken resistance the first time, and then it acts as a support. So this area along, if you see closely, I just get the rectangle tool out. Okay, so this is the area I generally start marking. Okay, the VWAP is coinciding, so my first instinct is that if I have to go long, I want to breach this area. Okay, this is again a range. So whenever we break out of this and we start trading above it, and we start seeing absorption above it, that is where we start putting out a long trade. That is if we have to go long. Similarly, you can see on all high volume bars, wherever the move is really high or ferocious and the volume is higher than the previous few bars, you can have them marked. So for instance over here, this particular bar is what we were talking about. Okay, this one. So the volume isn't that high, so I wouldn't I was just trying to explain. So what I would do is I would generally mark the bars that have a really high volume. For example, something like this. So this is again an area that I would consider this VWAP and mark it for my future references. Okay, and similarly this one where you see a shuffle below and move up, and if we expand this, we'll certainly see the heat map also coming into play whenever we are doing that. Okay, so when you're looking at the heat map or the longer time frame, for example this area, now this area I would again mark it because it has two important things. One is the VWAP on volume, and then this particular liquidity that came in and finally was taken out, if you look over here after the market moved here. So I would generally mark these areas, and if you see the market does come up here, let's see if it does come another time. Let me take this out, and let's say if it tries to take support any other time. So again, this is the zone, and it comes here, and it's been trying to take this zone out a lot of times, and it has failed, and this has been happening. Okay, so this is the exact point. Okay, so let me contract this and see what happened. Okay, so this is the point, and you see the market was trying, just made it a little lower, but the market was trying to take support of this point. So like we just discussed, whenever, if I have to go short, my first let me take all these drawings out and mark it even better. So clear drawings. Okay, and my first instinct, or if I have to go short like we just discussed, my first thought would be the first place that we need to break is this one, and then whenever the market approaches this zone and I see a sort of absorption in buying, which we have been talking in the past few videos, only then will I take a short trade. If on the other hand, if something like this happens, which we keep seeing a lot of times and I keep repeating it again and again, if the market does not sustain even for, let's say, this is not even for a minute, okay, 30 seconds and 1 minute, and it's back in the range, I just blindly go to the other side. This is a very famous technique. It works on all time frames. It's called look below and fail, or look above and fail. It's quite common on the market profile, in the market profile terminology. So I generally do this whenever I see this move and it not holding even for a minute or two. I straight away go to the other direction, and the other target would of course be, if you look at the heat map closely, this is the place that we have where our first target should be. Of course it meets there and comes down. So in a sense, what I'm trying to say is these points, all these points, along with, combined with the heat map, and combined with the VWAP particularly for a candlestick, makes it really interesting. Okay, now let's go to the other part that we wanted to discuss. What I will do is I will take out the candlesticks, okay, for now, and we'll go into the anchored VWAP, which I think is even more powerful, because as we discussed, the candlestick VWAP is of course really good for places where you have high volume transacted, or places where you have these heat maps coinciding with large volumes. Okay, but the point is, if you have to be exact and accurate, I will just try and get a scenario from where we got a good move, let's say, and let's get back the volume bars onto 15 seconds so that we can monitor everything on a smaller sort of a time frame. Okay, so let's see now. If you see the move that started from here, okay, what we'll do is we'll go here, add the anchored VWAP. Okay, we will anchor it, and let's go here, and what we'll do is VWAP start anchor. Let's look at the time. What is this? 20:33:44. Okay, so what we'll do is the reference point, and we will go over here, 20:33. What this does is okay, and add. Let me do it again, and okay, so let's see if it turns out. And what this will do is, so we add it to let's change this as well and see what happens. We don't want the, okay, okay, we have to do this. So let's start. I think we did it the wrong way the first time, so we'll go here and add 33, 34, 4, and okay, let's see if it turns out. Just a minute. Sorry guys for having this not set up properly, but it was working the last time I worked it around. Let me see. Okay, so it is okay. So you can see whenever so I think the reference point we've taken from behind anyway. So what you can see is, what I wanted to bring out is, if you see whenever this something like this happens from the exact reference point, you can see what has been happening and the way it has been taking resistance. Now the first thing I would like to do is, we've very nicely got a scenario. I want the price to be trading above this and not failing like this. Okay, so if it does fail, for example over here, we use and apply our other strategies as well, and we again, like we just said, if it has failed, we can expect a move, let's say to the other heat map, or like this is the liquidity zone and this is the zone that we expect. So let me mark this zone for you guys. So we can expect the move till at least this point. Okay, it's already moved, like even whilst we are talking, and it has gone down. So this is again the same technique that we just discussed. If it has gone up and it has failed, so this is an important reference point for us, and it has failed from here, and it has gone down. So I immediately, when I see something like this, I immediately trade to the take the trade to the next important reference zone. If it is giving me the risk reward, for example, if you would have entered here, if it is giving me 10 20 10 15 points against my 5 to 7 points risk, I immediately take a trade. Okay, so this is how powerful this VWAP can be. Okay, let me clear the drawings. I think we got all the VWAPs again plotted. In fact, yes, the pink as well as the green. Now the next thing that we can try is, let us put one from here. You can see this. Why am I choosing this point? Of course, it is the low, recent low. If you look at the book map from what it is happening, and this high volumes that have transacted in the zone, plus there was I mean some liquidity that came in here as soon as the market came in here, and it has, the price has reacted to this particular liquidity zone and moved to the other direction. So if I have to go short, or if I am targeting, let's say a break of this zone, so I want an anchored VWAP being breached, which starts from here. So let's plot another one. Let's say 20 this is 2042. So what it does is, you can exactly pinpoint the time from where you want it, and you'll get really great VWAPs coming out of this zone, and they're highly accurate because of the time that we've been able to plot them. Okay, so and let's go again, and let's reference this from it. I think it was 42, and I think this was the bar 42 49. Let's make it 9, and let's do this one as well. And let's wait. Okay, if it takes place, or we'll have to put another one from here, like the one we just did over here. Okay, so let's keep this one on, and let's keep this. Let's try another one. Have we been able to plot? No. So let's try another. What was the time? 42 49. Okay, 42 49. Let's go here, and 42 49. So it has been plotted. I think the previous one is, it just takes a little bit of time, but I think that we've got again. Okay, yeah. So this is the line from where we have plotted the VWAP, that is 42 49 somewhere here. So we could in fact start from 42 anyway, but you get my point. So if you would have plotted from here, it would have acted maybe as a support. So when you see this going below and failing again, it's a trigger for you to go to the other direction, that is somewhere here. The same rules apply. It is just that it is tried to go down, and it is not even sustained for, let's say, how many seconds. This is not even I think 10 seconds, and it's gone up again. So if I have to go short and I have to go short again, so this was the point. If you see, it is trying to go up, and it fails, and you see these absorptions taking place. So this is the place where you can take a proper shot, and to the the other reference point down below, which was somewhere here, or even below this was the reference zone, if you see. Okay, so this is what you can do. Now similarly, the same thing is happening around this VWAP, and if you look at this, we plotted one more from 53. Yes, this was the third one. So it is done from this one. So we'll take this one out, and we'll just have two. Okay, so one is from the 33, and the other one is from the, okay, we've taken everything out, doesn't matter. So yeah, we've taken everything out. So what I'm trying to get it, maybe in the next session I'll try and get it up even faster and look at what I'm missing. So it is still there. Okay, so when I'm looking at something like this, and I want to go short, something like this is what I'm expecting. If it is not happening here, for example over here, what I want to see is it started flattening, and it is giving this of a move. So if I see, let's say for example, it comes here and an absorption of sort, something like this, it gives me an indication that the buyers are trying to step in and not move the market up. And then I, for example, like this, I would enter a short somewhere here, 1735, 735. Again, the stop loss is just above this, and I want it to go at least till the POC, that is the current POC over here. Okay, so you can do this, keep doing this, and you'll find this tool very important. The other important thing that I wanted to bring out is, I think it is going to let's hope it touches our target. So the first sign is there is some sort of liquidity that has stepped in here. Let's see whether it takes it out before going up or not, and then goes down. So when you see something like this, I have discussed this in the previous video, someone stepping in, you start getting cautious. By cautious I mean if you've stepped in and you move your stop loss to break even or something like that. So again, like this happens. And the other thing that you can do is that with the footprint charts, if you've seen, you will get to see the delta. Let me get that particular footprint also on so that you can understand what I'm trying to say. So when you see something like this, you start shifting your stop loss to break even if you've not achieved your target, that is. And why do I say that? Because I just saw when the market moved towards the target we were expecting, what we saw is there's of course a support that we can see on the fractals or the small patterns that are taking place, and some sort of liquidity step in. The first sign that it is not taken out gives us a clue that since the liquidity is not going to go down this time, the probable direction of the market is on the other side of this particular zone, that is this one. So if you see now with the footprint chart, it becomes so much, I mean the details are even more clear. By that I mean that this is the zone. I will just draw the rectangle as well. So now by combining so many features and tools, like one is the anchored VWAP and the footprint and of course the heat map, you can see so many things that are happening together, build a context around where you want to trade and where you rather do not want to trade. So at the moment you see a sort of liquidity coming in over here at this point. Okay, so it doesn't mean you go for a long here. Always wait for a reference point. For us, if we have to go long, our reference point is this. Why is that? Because we saw some sort of buying come in and the market could not move down, and the market finally moved up. Now again, if you remember what I spoke about in the last session, you generally try and trade aggression with a higher probability on a trend day, on days where, or in ranges, or in during the times when the market is doing this, what it is doing now, it is always better to trade absorption. By that, what do I mean? If, for example, the market would have moved, let's say, let's consider it would have moved like this and then back like this over here and taken a resistance sort of thing, that is, I see these buyers step in and not been able to take the market down, I'm sorry, up, then I would have entered a short. So that is what I would have looked at. Okay, that is what is absorption. Or trading absorption. Over here you see another instance of you see these numbers, so I can see a lot of buying stepping in here. So would I want to go long here? No, not now. I would rather want to have a retest of this particular zone. So the zone is, as I keep saying, keep drawing those zones if you are new, because it will really help you in understanding the context and not going or entering too fast. Okay, so this is the zone, and what I want to see is some sort of selling. Now 19, 21, 22 is not a good number to get absorbed. The market can go up. Look what happens. So okay, so the market can go up, but you don't want to get into trades just for the heck of it. You want high probable trades. Okay, so how do you get that? Your reference points, of course, becomes the heat map, the anchored VWAP that we just started. So this one, if you see, you can keep shifting these VWAPs from points of great reference. So let me just take out the footprint again and get the anchored VWAP only. Okay, and we have two reference points as of now. One is from 2033.44 and the other is from is anchored from, I think, the same point. Okay, so you can keep having this. The other is, I think, from 2042.35. Okay, so you can keep having this and having these plots. Now when you see something like this, what I wanted to discuss and slipped my mind is the VWAP coming from the top and the VWAP coming from the bottom, from two important references, and these getting flattened down. This is the first sign. Always remember, in a market which is ranging, or even if it is not ranging, if it is trending, when you see something like this happen from the recent highs and lows, and when this starts happening, you are generally going to get something like this. I'm going to draw it for you. So you're going to get something like this, what is happening over here. So you draw this box, and unless this breaks to one side, below this box, below this POC, or below this reference point, the box that I've drawn, you don't enter an aggressive trade. That is, you don't go short below this immediately, or you don't go long as soon as it pops up again. So if you see this zone, it pops up, fails again, gives you a trade which I call look above and fail below, in this zone, and it goes to the other direction. So this will keep happening in a range bound market. And if you see these VWAPs from the top, recent top and recent bottom coinciding, it is a sign, and getting flat, that this is a, some people call it a no trade zone, because it is going to get choppy. Some people like this because they can fade these moves and they enjoy fading. So again, it depends on what type of a trader you are. What I generally prefer is, if I'm seeing a range, and if I'm seeing a range for, let's say, more than 15 minutes, I would rather not step in, because after 15 minutes, the first 15 minutes, you can get one or two trades off in your favor. But after that, what will happen is, it will keep popping up, keep popping down, taking stop losses, and keep doing haphazard things. So if you identified a range like we have over here, it is always good that one or two times is good. After that, it becomes really difficult, because the market keeps narrowing down. So if you look at it, both the VWAPs are flat, and they just, the range is hardly, if you see, 10-12 points on nasdaq 100, and it becomes a little difficult if you have to trade this particular zone. So you wait for the zone to break out. Okay, so let's take out the anchored VWAPs again, and let's go a little back, and you can find something even more interesting, from where for people who want a time frame that is a little more or little longer rather. So this is the high of the day. Okay, so we did plot from here. So how do I know this is either high of the day? There is an indicator over here which is called the price levels. So the high is marked over here, the midpoint is marked here, and of course the green is the low of the day. Okay, so let's try and get one from the low of the day. So of course the VWAP, the prices are trading over the VWAP. So let's start from here. Let's see. Okay, so it's, the low of the day was the VWAP, so it makes actually no sense. But if you have a low of the day which is not from the start of the day, so like you've been trending almost, because we've been above the VWAP, you can start from the low of the day as well. And if you're trading in fractals or you're scalping, like we just discussed, these 2 points become your important reference points. One is the 42 over here, because this was the recent low and this is the recent high, and you can keep setting it down. And within this zone, when you see, like we just saw, the anchored VWAPs flattening out and become something like this, you stop or you wait for the particular zone to break. So the zone that we drew is this one. Okay, so you wait for this zone to break, and you can see liquidity on both sides over here. Okay, and this is a very confusing, or chop zone you can call it, because you do not know which side it is going to break, whether it is going to break or not. Okay, so the reference points also do not have that much 16 seconds and the 15-second bar showing over there. So you can have it something like this for people who are scalping and they're used to trading like this. Okay, so hopefully I was able to, again, like I said, help you